Technical experts are rarely expert presenters. Why is that? They are smart, well-educated, highly knowledgeable about their area of expertise, have tons of data, and boast abundant experience. Their presentation should be nothing less than triumphs, legendary value, unmatched deep dives on their subject. Rarely the case though. They fail for the simplest of reasons, when really they shouldn't fail at all. Find out why very shortly. Welcome back to this weekly edition every Tuesday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training here in Japan, and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's topic, here is what caught my attention lately. The Japan Post insurance scandal boasts some amazing numbers. 90,000 cases of inappropriate sales, 22,000 cases of customers being tricked into making double payments, 47,000 cases of being left uninsured for months before signing new contracts after their old ones were terminated, and 24,000 other cases where customers were disadvantaged. What happened? The bosses set aggressive sales targets for the sales staff, and they gamed the system to make their numbers. When the scandal broke, the bosses tried to justify what their staff had been doing, calling it legitimate. That didn't fly. And before you knew it, the presidents of Japan Post Insurance and Japan Post were doing a lot of deep bowing at their press conference. In other news, a Pew Research Center report for Japan found that 90% of Japanese think robots and computers will be doing much of the work currently being done by people in the next 50 years. Some 83% saw this as causing greater inequality, while 74% believed people will have trouble finding work. Finally, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government has provided 500 million yen, or roughly $5 million, in subsidies over 3 years and 3 months to SkyDrive Incorporated, the first company in Japan to develop an electric vertical takeoff and landing craft, or EVTOLS. Osaka Prefectural Government is aiming for a one-person vehicle with 6 propellers to provide a demonstration flight at the Osaka World Expo in 2025. At the Fukushima Robot Test Field at the end of February, 10 drones were launched simultaneously by different business operators to test whether they could fly safely without collisions in an airspace of 900 by 600 meters. This is episode number 97, and we are talking about technical presenters' biggest mistakes. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Technical experts love their speciality. Usually they've studied hard and long to get their professional qualifications, and there is also substantial ongoing professional development required to stay current. They are analytical types who thrive on the detail. When they present technical subjects to business people who are not experts, they can run into trouble. The slide deck will be vast and detailed. There is a lot of information to get through, and so the slides can be dense. The subject matter, being technical, is a serious business, and that is how they approach their delivery. Somber, low energy, no gestures, monotone delivery, all de rigueur for our self-assured serious experts. The pace is slow. Large numbers of slides are read to the audience. The entire atmosphere is funereal. Is there a contradiction between the subject matter and presentation delivery skills? If the matter is technical, shouldn't the material speak for itself? Isn't the presenter just a simple conduit of information? Yes, you could do it that way if you want to be completely forgettable, have no interest in establishing a powerful personal brand, and become the go-to person on the subject. For many technical people, that would be just fine because they don't enjoy the limelight. They don't really want to meet new people and would rather be immersed in their speciality. If the firm is happy for them to be nobodies in a crowded field of similar experts, all vying for the same client business, then that monk-like approach is a good outcome. If, however, you want your firm to stand above the din, to become famous for the quality of your team and for your professional bedside manner with non-specialists, then a rethink is in order. Let's start with the deck, because this is the holy grail for specialists, and this is where all the time is sucked up with iteration after iteration. Slides can be printed out and distributed after the presentation. Why not during? Yes, you can do that. But the chances are that you will be on slide 5 and your audience will be on slide 45 and you have lost control of their attention. Better to mention at the start that the materials will be distributed after the presentation. There may be 1 or 2 sheets where the detail is so dense, say numbers on spreadsheets, that it is impossible to read on screen. And these could be handed out at the start. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to become a fully competent and confident presenter, then do the High Impact Presentations course. We are all being judged when we speak, be it in the internal team meeting or in a public environment, be it the big bosses, clients, or an industry audience. Everyone is evaluating us. Don't blow it. Get the best training on the planet. Do the High Impact Presentations course now in either Japanese or English. The bestseller, Japan Sales Mastery, is the new Bible of selling in Japan. To sell to Japanese buyers, you need to create long-term partner-level trust, fully understand Japanese buyers' real needs, convince buyers with your solutions, overcome their hesitation, fear, and doubt, know how to ask for the order, ensure repeat orders. This book is the product of 30 plus years in the trenches selling in Japan. Order Japan Sales Mastery now. Welcome back. The details can be presented on the slide because our audience can read it for themselves, which means we don't have to cover every detail on every slide. We can show and tell. That is, show the slide in its full glory, but only refer to a few key points. This allows us to speak without being trapped by the text on screen. We can speak to the points, elaborate and tell stories to bring the facts to life. Storytelling is mainly absent from the repertoire of professional presenters, but these are the things the audience will remember after the talk. They also make the detail more interesting because they are usually dealing with things at the application rather than the theoretical stage. When speaking, not every word needs to have the same value. This is the monotone delivery approach, which quickly puts everyone to sleep. Instead, we can select out key words for additional emphasis and hit those words harder when we deliver them. We can bring energy to the fore when we make recommendations or issue warnings. These are simple voice modulation techniques which add validity to what we are saying. We can use gestures to back up our words. Again, these bring energy to key points in a way that adds credibility to the content. Our passion for the subject should shine through. The specialist, though, often believes that their subject matter should be unemotional and delivered in a bland way that is not controversial. We don't have to be outrageous to make a connection with the audience. Regardless of the subject matter, it usually has ramifications for people, and people are emotional. We can find out how this topic relates to their businesses and their lives and make it real for the audience. We don't have to be dull. We can take highly technical subjects and humanize them, tell stories, inject situations and people into them to bring them to life. We just need to change our mindset about what we're actually doing here. Are we simply going through the motions, or are we trying to communicate our key messages to our audience? That decision makes the path forward very clear. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube, share it with your family, friends and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now. enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how the show's helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I'm here as a free resource to help you, so just tell me how I can help you best. You might also enjoy my podcast. Look for the Leadership Japan series, the Presentations Japan series, and the Sales Japan series, wherever you get your podcasts. In episode 98, we are talking about stop being hopeless in client meetings. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you, and we have only got one direction in mind.